Hi, everyone, and welcome to our first Friday of the month. This time, we're going to talk about afros and aquatics. And you know the deal. It's Gloria Muzito here with
Jocelyn Nichols, and we're really happy to have everyone here. This topic highly resonates with all of us, so we're super excited that you could join us.
And the rest of our ambassadors here for this call today is
Bami De La Aino.
Julian Smith.
Harry Stacy.
And Olivia Kazel.
Awesome. Yeah. And I think I forgot to mention this. I just graduated from Amherst College. I swam there. And now I'm going to be working as a medical assistant and studying for the MCAT. So maybe if you guys could also say a little bit about yourself, that would be great.
Yes, I also just graduated from FSU, majoring in sports management and a minor in education. I'll continue with my swimming career. And yeah.
No.
I also just graduated from the University of Florida, and I am currently a dental assistant and studying for my DAT. So
Unoriginal.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, I'm currently at Florida State University training with the pro team, and yeah, just trying to keep things going with my degree and training for LA 2028.
And then for me, I go to the illustrious Howard University, and I am a journalism student or a journalism major. And I am still, again, currently in school as a rising sophomore. And this summer, actually, next tomorrow, I'll actually be going to New York City for a fellowship program.
Work.
And I'm going to my senior year in high school, and I'm currently working on my vet assistant certification.
Period. Work. All right, Umi, I see that you just joined Queen. Do you want to introduce yourself? Girl, we cannot hear
Okay, sorry. I'm Umi. I am 21. I go to FIU. I'm an Olympian and I swim for Senegal.
Work.
Thank you, everyone. So for this call, as we say, we're going to be talking about Afro and aquatics. We're going to be talking about our hair combined with our swim. So the first question that we want to ask you guys all for today is, what are some of the thoughts or concerns that come to mind for each one of you when you think about swimming with your Afro?
For me, it would be like how the chlorine is literally destroying my hair every time. Like literally.
I know you.
I have no, like I know you guys understand, but the chlorine is just destroying my curl, and I'm thinking about doing a big chop after swimming.
Yeah.
I think,
Honestly, yeah, I definitely feel that.
I think for me, I was gonna say, I don't know about you guys, but when I was younger, I used to try at my club team's pool, we always had like communal, hair care products, and I would try and use like Pantene and just like things that would literally make my hair fall out. And so it was pretty traumatic. And so I just like, when I think about taking care of my hair now, I think about all the misconceptions. Like I thought there was everybody used the same thing, but that's really not the case. I think black hair needs to be taken care of as if it's a child, really, consistently all the time. And so I really just think about like my growth when it comes to taking care of my hair.
Yeah, definitely. And then I would say in my mind too, just to like add on to that is the limitation and just the scarcity of Black education or just Black resources when it comes to anything that has to do with our hair and chlorine. It's just so scarce because, again, there's already not so many athletes in this sport. So then that knowledge of how do we properly take care of our hair instead of just slapping a swim cap off and hoping for the best is really not out there.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I feel like the biggest problem for me is always having the swim cap falling off. Like that's my biggest like scare on a swim meet. I just know like it's gonna slip off. When I was younger, swimming the 400, just feeling it like glide off every turn. Like that is a struggle. But then they're like, okay, you have to moisturize your hair. You can't let it be dry all the time. But if I moisturize, then it's gonna fall off at practice or the swim meet. Like it's always back and forth on like what to do. Should I just let my hair be dry so my cap can stay, or
Mhm.
what
Yeah.
else?
I feel that too, because I think like growing up, I never really had hair, or like I had hair, but like I never would let it grow out just because, you know, it's uncommon. So you think I'll just keep it low and do whatever. But then once I figured out that I can grow my hair and have these cool hairstyles and stuff while swimming, it's a game changer. And it takes more work, but I was way more appreciative of it than just having a bald head like when I was 12 and 13, the typical haircut. But I think when I think about our hair, I think about different. It's different. So
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I remember when I went to the Black History Meet, that was the first time I had ever seen like a swimmer with braids. Like I never even knew that that was a thing. And I remember like capping someone with braids, and I was like, wow, like this is great. Like I don't know how you guys do this, because my hair was like so ratchet at the time. Like and so it has been nice to like, you know, experience different hairstyles and know that like it's fine once you know how to take care of them properly. So I totally agree with that. Yeah.
What about you, Harry and Liv? Do you have any personal experiences or any challenges that you have stumbled upon with your hair?
I wouldn't say I have much actually. I was pretty oblivious to how to deal with my hair during my like teenage years. It's only like recently that I've actually paid more attention to it. But I'm with Julian on this. It's like once you realize that you can do a lot more with your hair because you're taught as a young African, like you got to keep the hair short. But then as I grow up, I realized I can grow it out, and yeah, things became more difficult after I did that. So just trying to figure things out so that everything looks good.
Yeah, with my hair, I feel like I have to like, with all my other friends, they could just like take off their cap and just dry off their hair. And yet sometimes I go to school and my hair is like still damp after swim practice. And like my hair is like, some of it's kind of bleached now because of the pool water. So I kind of have to take care of it differently.
The never-ending question of why is your hair still wet? It's
Yeah.
so wet. Like, that's
Yeah.
crazy. I know you mean.
But
Yeah,
talking
definitely.
about braids, I usually like almost all my life swim with braids, and always the question was like, oh my god, how can you put that much hair in the cap? And at some point, I also had some coach told me that, oh, if my braids look like this for the championship, I'm not gonna go. Like it's just like so much to deal just for hair. Just like let my hair be, but I don't know. Sometimes it's a real deal to do.
Mhm.
Definitely. There are always these questions. I remember too, like growing up in Sweden, if I'll have a special hairstyle under my cap, you know, when the cap just looks different, like it sticks out, it'll be like once
You
they
guys-
told me, you look like an
I know.
alien. Like that comment just stuck with me too. Then I was like then I was insecure. Like I didn't want to have my braids under my cap looking like that. Then like everyone else had sleek caps and then mine was just sticking out weird. But like, how do we address these questions? Like, what can we do then when we get these questions, or for the kids too that are getting these questions growing up in this white dominated sport? Like, how can we do?
I feel the more important is first to know like why you're doing this hairstyle, because you have such beautiful hair and you have to take care of it. And if you have to do braids, for example, just to protect it, even if it looked like a helmet, my coach used to say it looked like a helmet. My hair is good. My hair looked good, so I'm not gonna stop doing it.
yeah,
Yes, exactly.
I think like the important part is like embracing it, but then also realizing don't let the sport stop you from doing what you want to do with your hair, because regardless, you can do whatever you want with your hair as long as you take care of it, you know. And even if you don't take care of it, you can still do it. So just embrace it, and of course, don't let people touch your hair. We all have experienced that, but no means no. So
You
that
tell
was-
him, Julia.
that was my big thing. So just embrace it, and take care of it.
Yeah, I agree. I also think growing up, it was tough because similar to you, Gloria, I also, had like various like lumps on my head that people thought were like the funniest thing. And I remember I'd come home a lot of the times and I was like, why am I not laughing? Like, I don't think this is funny. And it took me a really long time to realize like, I don't like that's hurtful and people should stop doing it. So to that point, like, you do kind of have to not let it affect you. But then even when I got to high school, like I wear latex caps all the time, or I'll do like a latex and then a silicone on top. People would be like, why would you wear that trash? Like silicone is a thing. I was like, and what about it? Like, we're all getting up behind the blocks. Like, so what if like our cap has the same logo on it? Like, what is the issue? And I think there's just like a lot of kind of like inherent stigmas and stereotypes that people don't even know like they're perpetuating. And like now that I'm older, if I see somebody with a latex cap, I'm like, you get him, queen, like you get out there. But people still have things to say, which I think needs to be worked on. So
Yes, definitely. Because we have a lot of stereotypes when we're in this sport, swimming, and it's often that like many people say, oh, Black people can't swim, and often it's because they say Black people can't swim because their hair is a big reason. You don't want to get your hair wet and stuff. These are assumptions that they have for like even in workday and daily life. It can be like your afro is unprofessional. If you're trying to go for a job, maybe do something else, straighten your hair instead of having that afro. So these are just like what you're saying with the stereotypes and the assumptions that people have. But how do we educate others and challenge these misconceptions?
Well, what we're doing.
Oh, sorry. You go, Harry.
What we're doing right now is obviously a great step. But also when someone is, saying something inappropriate or just generally, as you say, making fun of you and just don't really enjoy it, just being calm in that moment and also just taking the time to educate them. Because a lot of the time ignorance can form a reaction that is, negative, and they don't realize that when they're saying it. But if you can come, respectfully and, just educate them that, what you just did right there wasn't okay. That's the good first step. I always found that.
Yeah, heavy on Harry said, definitely with mindset, and then also too, you have to take what people say with a grain of salt and comments, and just think and really just twist it and be like, oh, they're just uneducated on how I work and how I do, so I can't let that affect me, and their uneducated like mindset or comments affect me on how I think my hair is, if that makes sense.
No, definitely. But moving on, how would you guys say you take care of your afro? Does anyone want to share their go-to afro care before, during, and after swimming? I know you already shared, Jocelyn, how you use the latex caps. That's a huge goal for me too. I'm wearing the latex cap. I feel like it always stays on while swimming, and I don't have to worry about this, like the silicone one to slip off. But what else, guys, would you guys recommend or willing to share?
For me, I think the most important part for me was to make like a schedule with like the practice to know like when can I put the conditioner on, when can I not, when can I do a mask. Like for me, it's like really important so I can know when can I do what. But I don't know if anybody want to add something.
No, I totally agree. I think I would say I'm relatively good at taking care of my hair, but since I, graduated and stopped swimming, it's gotten exponentially better. But before that, one thing that really helped me was just like the style I put my hair in under the cap, because I used to try and like just make it as small as possible because I was like, no one wants to see this, but that doesn't work. Like I don't think there was ever a time in my life where there was like no lump on the back of my head, like no like large visible lump. And so I think that was a huge first step, because I was like ripping out so many baby hairs up here and it was just such an uncomfortable experience. But like products I love, you didn't ask, but I'll tell. I love like Biolage, Paul Mitchell. What else do I love? I use like a lot of these, like I use a lot of hair masks, like Umi kind of said. And those are kind of like my go-tos. I won't say what I don't use because I don't want to hate on anybody else's regime, you know. But yeah, that's kind of my thing.
Yes, definitely. I feel like it's also always important to rinse out the chlorine after you swim.
Oh,
Like,
definitely.
even though you haven't planned it, like I also have the schedule as you. Like I have 2 wash days, Wednesday, Saturdays. Those are my huge wash days. But like after every practice, make sure to rinse out the chlorine. And if you can, like put in some conditioner. You always want to try keep your hair moisturized. So that's always important. And then also have like a detoxing shampoo once a week. Have in some oils as well to keep your scalp moisturized as well. And yeah, just like the basics. I always make sure to do like 2 braids I sleep in. And don't forget to have your bonnet out on top too every night, just to make sure to prevent breakage. Just the
Right.
simple things, but like help in a long way.
Yeah, and I know I mean, I feel like also like I didn't realize this until much later on in my swimming career, but like look good, feel good. Like there would be days when I was like my hair looks horrendous and I swam worse. And so it's just like a huge confidence booster, and also just like being able to like talk about it with peers and be like, hey, like I need to shower like a little bit longer today, and like there's nothing wrong with that. Like you do you sort of thing. Because I think we talked about confidence a little bit. And I think hair care is a huge part of that.
Yes. What about you boys? What do you have any tips or
Yes, help our brothers out there.
Honestly, I mean, for me, I'm still learning because again, like I feel like just black boys in general, like we even more so don't come up like we're not brought up with hair care, and we usually don't start growing our hair until later in life, especially in my situation and being from an African and Caribbean household, we really didn't prioritize like my parents until like 7th grade were like you cannot grow your hair, like you need to keep your hair short. And until like college, like I didn't start cornrowing my hair for long amounts of time until college. So then, add in swim and dive and just all that stuff with it. It's a complex situation, but definitely just reaching out and then also relying on, Black women too, who know more about hair care, and just open communication and just asking questions is the biggest like door to open up that world into like, how do I get my hair situated?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's kind of funny because people will look at like my roster pictures when I was in swimming in college. Every 4 years, I like each of my 4 years I had a different hairstyle. Like my first year I had almost a high top. The second year,
Wait,
I
should
had
I look this up?
yeah, you can. I had a low fade my sophomore year because we got our heads shaved as a freshman. And then my junior year, I did 2-strand twist. And then this past year, I just had a fro. But I think, and each of those, I learned like the differences of what I got to do. Of course, for me, like when it came to competition, I was fine with letting my hair just kind of dry out for those 3 days, just because if that was going to give me peace of mind, knowing that my cap wasn't going to slip off, and like that's one less thing I had to worry about at a meet, I was fine with doing that. But then during the week and like practices and stuff, it's really important for me to rinse it out after practice. And then of course, I think as guys, you got to have the pick on you for a comb, just because sometimes it can get nappy really easily if you let that go. So that's kind of my way of looking at it. And then of course I use conditioner every night. And then if I knew there was a practice where like I was gonna be going pretty hard or like my cap would be falling off, I would just rinse out my hair before practice with water. So that was pretty easy. And I think as long as you like embrace it, everyone's fine with it. My teammates are all like, oh yeah, like just make sure your cap stays on today, like all that stuff. And like they're like they knew that I was gonna have to rinse out my hair before practice. And then when I came in with the 2-strand twist, they were surprised, but I still made it work. And I just had to make sure I had oils and stuff. And those twists could not get wet that much, but I had to get them retwisted a lot.
Yeah, I agree with Julian on like a lot of the points. He covered most of it, to be honest. Every hairstyle that I've had in the past required a different like routine to keep it so that it didn't just look horrendous. Definitely had the comb by my side 24/7. But I think the main thing for me was having like my African sisters and aunties around, because I wouldn't get that much help from my mum, and I thought she would know a lot about it, but she didn't. So then my aunties and sisters, they would come together and just like figure out ways to help me out with it. And yeah, I learned a lot through them. So big shout out to the community for that one.
Oh, Gloria, did you say something? I think you froze for a second.
Oh, I just disappeared. I'm back.
Okay, period.
Sorry. Yes, where were we, guys?
Harry was just wrapping up, but I was thinking, is there any piece of advice that we want to give someone, you know, who's maybe at the beginning of like their hair care journey in swimming? What we would say to them, you know, maybe so their hairline remains where it is, or like, you know, they just feel their baddest self walking up on the blocks, or like one product you would recommend.
I would say don't allow people always commenting on the length of your hair to make you feel like you're not lovable or you're ugly or you feel some type of way. And then also a product I would recommend is for me, because I really struggle with fairy knots and my hair knots very easily. So then I would recommend using, I think it's called African Pride pre-shampoo. And anytime you detangle your hair, please use that. And don't detangle your hair when it's dry. Yeah.
For me, first, I would say take your time to know exactly what product works for you, because I remember in the beginning, I was just kind of like following the people that were around me, and they just had like one kind of type of shampoo and conditioner. And after I realized it did not really work for me. And then I also took a lot of time to learn how to appreciate my natural hair. I remember I had a lot of time, but then I had like good roommate and I was like feeling comfortable like with my natural hair. And then after, if I have to give one product, I would say miel. I don't know how to say it in English. It's like Mielle. The conditioner is really, really good.
Yeah, for me, I think the advice I would give would just be like, have a good relationship with your barber or whoever does your hair, because that also helped me, just because like he knew that I was always swimming, or like even when I was coming to get a haircut, like my hair would be coming in wet, not just from like the shower, but also like some chlorine. So just being transparent about it with everyone who takes care of your hair.
Yeah, I totally resonate with that. I've had the same the same woman has cut my hair since I was like 3 years old. She is my go-to girl. Only problem was every time she cut my hair, she would straighten it, and then the next day I'd have swim practice, and it would, you know, but that's not happening. So the world is my oyster, honestly. Gloria, Harry, Liv, do you have anything?
Yeah, I'm not gonna go like products. I'm more gonna just say the mentality towards it. Confidence, because you're in a white-dominated sport. You know, you're gonna look different to pretty much everyone around you. I mean, there are gonna be times when you go to a competition and you are the only person of color there. So if you like how you look and you have confidence in that, that's gonna make all the difference. Life's just gonna be that much more enjoyable. So you can't let other people's opinions come and affect you. You really just have to look yourself in the mirror and be like, no, this is how I am, how I'm gonna be, and respectfully, I don't care about anybody else's opinion, you know. Just own it, because then when you've got that confidence, life is that much more enjoyable.
Great.
Definitely. Liv, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that definitely find products that work well for you, because it's taken me a while and I just found some products that actually work for me, and like hairstyles that work for you for like your cap and stuff.
Yes, definitely. I also feel like just ask for help. Don't be scared to ask for help. Like I've had since I came to college, like my friends have helped me out so much finding like the right products for my hair, but also they have been like empowering me like to wear my natural hair out. Like since I came to college, like I started wearing my afro out. Like I didn't care what people would say. Usually I would always have like the bun up just to like not have the afro out because I felt insecure. But like I've learned that it's my hair is my pride. So you see me now at swim meets just rocking the afro straight after like warm up after my race. I'm just so proud with it and it gives you confidence. And like Jocelyn say, like you look good, you swim good. So
Period.
have that with you and use it as a little strength.
Yeah, I totally agree with like just do whatever make you feel confident. I remember in the beginning, like I remember last year I was talking with Gloria about it, about a suit in that I really wanted to do. And she gave me power to do it and I did it. And then when I removed it, I kind of feel uncomfortable like just letting my natural hair like this. But then my roommate just helped me to like just be like, don't care about what people say. And then I was just like doing stitches with my hair and putting my wig if I wanted to. And I was like, I don't care if you guys see me without my wig. Like that's just how my natural hair look. And if you don't like it, that's none of my business. I am feeling
Beautiful.
confident like this. They help me, for example, to like do the, I don't know how to say it, but like the parts of my hair, just like find your people that will help you make your life easier with your hair and that make you feel like mostly confident and just like go with it.
Beautiful. Yeah, I feel like that is so amazing. And also, like, I feel like it's important to say, like, this is so much easier said than done. Like, in the swimming world and like in society, like, I feel like we forget how much our self-worth is like inherently determined by how we think other people see us. But I think one of the most important realizations I've had is like low-key, no one's paying attention to you. Like everyone is so caught up in their own life, their own issues, their own goals, and like they are not looking at you. So I think the biggest piece of advice that I would give someone is like just like take initiative, like find those people who like lift you up, find those people who encourage you to try a hairstyle, who like also find those people like my mom is one of my biggest fans. She knows what looks best on me. Like if I want to go get a hairstyle that she thinks is hideous, she'll put me in my place. But when I'm looking my best, you know, she'll be like, yes, girl, like look at you out there. So I think, you know, as we close, that would be what I leave everyone with. So
I totally agree. Most of the time, sorry, I'm talking too much, but
no, you're
I'm
not, girl. No, you're not.
I'm thinking about, I don't know if you look at the track and field girl, like the Jamaican.
I do.
Yes. And I'm like, okay, I want to look like this when I remove my cap after my race, you know, and that's every time what I'm thinking when I'm doing a hairstyle. Like, I'm French Nationals in 2 weeks. I already bought my box braid. I'm going to do a red Burundi hair and I'm fire. I don't care what is the time after, but my hair is going to be good.
Yeah.
There we go. Love to see it. No, but thank you guys. As we wrap up this call of Afro in Aquatics, we want to say a huge thanks for everyone taking part of this call and make sure to stay tuned for next month's first Friday of the month. Nothing than that. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.